Hello, and welcome to the online summer course for Baldwin High School. This is Mr. Harold. I teach 11th and 12th grade here at the high school. Now, this course is set up a little bit differently than a traditional in-class course. Rather than coming in and meeting with me or working with a group, you're going to be able to go through this course at your own pace. This course is 6 weeks long, and there are 5 major units. One of the units will take about 2 weeks to complete. Typically, you'll have about 5 to 7 hours of work to do each week. It's recommended that you spread it out, do maybe an hour and a half each day, and you'll be fine. What you're going to do in each unit is this. You're going to open up the unit, and there'll be a series of lessons there, usually about 4 or 5. In addition, there'll be an introductory video, like this one. What I will do is go through some of the main content that you'll be looking at, and then you'll be asked to go into each lesson and complete it. A typical lesson has 3 parts. The first part is the link at the top. It's called Soft Chalk. I don't know why, it's just the name of the program. Here you will see an alternate video if you want to see some more ideas. But basically, here is where you'll get the links to the reading. After the reading, you'll have 2 tasks. One is a journal. This is something that you would write sort of personally, and nobody will see except you and me, of course. And then there's a blog, and a blog can be viewed by other people. A blog is something that you would publish. Now, once you go through all the lessons in the unit, there will be a project at the end. So what you want to imagine yourself doing is each day of the unit, maybe get 1 lesson done, and then at the end of the week, on Friday, you'll work on the project and submit it. As long as you're submitting the assignments and making progress, you'll be in good shape. My job is to be available for you to answer any questions, and I'll have office hours, which are posted on the syllabus. We can also meet in person if you'd like. So come on, let's take a look. So, welcome to week 1. Week 1, we're looking at inferences. What is an inference? You probably don't use this word too often, but actually an inference is probably one of the most useful things you can do whenever you're reading a story. So, the word you've probably heard before is prediction. When you're reading, you'll often predict what will happen next. It's an educated guess, it's a hypothesis. Now, making predictions are good, but that's not the same thing as an inference. Well, what's the difference? An inference is something where you take a look at all the clues, you read in between the lines, and you're not necessarily guessing what's going to happen, but you're guessing something that's true that's not being stated exactly. The reason is predictions are answered and inferences are not. For example, you might predict that a character will die at the end of the story. Now, when the story ends, you're going to find out, did this character die or did this character live? But an inference would be the character is secretly angry at his father for something that happened years ago. Now, that might be answered, that might not be answered, but that's something that you're going to have to read in between the lines to find. That might not be directly stated. A lot of times, good authors will put inferences in to make the stories more complex and interesting. If you can understand the inference, you can understand what the story's about. So, when do you make predictions? You might make a prediction before you read, and you might make a prediction while you're reading. Inference, on the other hand, you make while you're reading or even after you're reading when you were completely done. Here are some types of questions you want to ask yourself when you're going through this. An inference is why, or how, or what else. You read a little bit deeper, whereas a prediction, you're asking what's next, or what might happen. Predictions are valid, they keep you interested, but they're lower level. Inferences are what it's all about. So, why else are inferences important? Well, inferences connect to the reader's life, connect to the reader's reality. Isn't that what reading is all about? If you read a story about characters that make no difference to you and you can't understand at all, well, what's really the point? Are you going to get anything out of them? Inferences allow you to connect it to real life, to use your imagination, and find plots that are relevant. Well, that's the information covered in week 1. It's not that much, but you're going to be reading some selections from a number of short stories, and you're going to be challenged to make your own inferences. Well, I'll leave you to it. Take a look at lesson 1, click through the soft chalk, read, answer the questions, and then answer those blogs and journals. Have fun.